In this video, I'm gonna give you the 4 principles that made me multiple 6 figures, allowed me to grow multiple TikTok and IG accounts to hundreds of thousands of followers, and pretty much allowed me to achieve any goal I ever set for myself. Let's get into it. First, everything I'm about to tell you, I can literally recite in my sleep, and I can talk about this for hours and expand on everything this allowed me to achieve, but let's try to keep it as short as possible. The first principle you have to accept is believe you're the man. You can do anything you put your mind to. So it just comes down to believing you can do anything you put your mind to. If you want to learn to play the piano, you have to believe you can do it. If you want to become a great chess player, you can do it. If you want to make a shit ton of money, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself because not a lot of people do. You have to believe you're that guy that can do anything that comes his way. Let me give you an example. If somebody comes up to you, right, this would never happen, but if somebody comes up to you and says, move a mountain, first of all, right, you're gonna need some money, right? You're gonna tell him, yeah, give me $1 billion and I'm gonna move this mountain for you. And I always use this example because it's literally possible to move a mountain. I'm not saying that any of this is proven, but I'm sure it could work, right? If an earthquake can do it, you can do it too. And it's just about finding a way to do it. An example that always comes to my head is if somebody gave me, I don't know, however much money you need, you have infinite money, and your only task is move a mountain. What you can do is you have to think about it. You could try to recreate some sort of an earthquake, right? Maybe create a device that could shake the ground hard enough to create like a mini earthquake, and that could move the mountain 1/10 of a millimeter, for example, right? And then you actually achieved the task of moving a mountain. Or I don't know, anything else crazy like land a person on the moon. Sure, I'm gonna be that guy, yo. Let's make a deal. Give me $50 billion for me to keep and give me infinite money. And I don't know, I'm gonna do it in a span of maybe 50 years. Sure, I'll figure it out. I'll put my whole life into it if I'm gonna get $50 billion, right? You have to believe you can do anything you put your mind to and that you're that guy, you're the man. If anything needs to be done, you're the man. You can do anything if you decide to do it. You have to believe that. Next up, be angry when you see what other people have because you can achieve the same thing. Now, I'm not your psychologist and I'm not gonna tell you what you should feel, but I feel obligated to tell you this. There is a difference between anger and hate. Hatred is a very bad and negative emotion you never want to feel and accept. It is gonna ruin your life very quickly and it eats you from the inside. But anger can be a fantastic motivator. Feeling anger in the sense of a fire inside of you is a fantastic thing to feel. If you ever played any competitive sports, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So a basic example of anger being used as motivation is something we've all experienced probably. So for most people, that's their first breakup, let's say. Like you already know this. When a girl breaks up with a guy, they get in their redemption arc era, they start going to the gym, getting buff. They can literally lift weights for 25 hours a day. Shit, they're gonna add another hour to the day just so they can feel more pain in their chest than they can feel in their heart, right? So they start feeling infinite motivation and they can work out all day long. They can work on themselves for the whole day. It's not a problem. In the same way, this infinite motivation of anger should be used to achieve all of your other goals, specifically your financial goals. So let me give you an example. When you see a person that is very similar to you in age and had a very similar life to you, a similar upbringing, right? When you see them become hyper successful because of their hard work, that should motivate you. You should feel angry, not at them, very important, but at the fact that you can achieve the same thing. You should be angry at yourself. That's where you should feel the motivation. Be angry you haven't done the same thing. And use that for infinite motivation because you can achieve the same thing. You should be angry that you still didn't do it. So let me give you a practical example of this. In early 2023, when I was just getting into OFM and had my first model, on TikTok, we saw multiple accounts that had like 1 million followers, and they were literally just uploading the same 5 to 10 videos and were getting millions of views. Now, of course, this made me angry. I was like, how are they doing it? I was motivated. I saw them, hey, if they can do it, I can probably do it too. That's actually how the idea for our repurposing software TikFusion was born. So for weeks, we were trying to figure out what those guys were doing, that we were like, what if they're maybe applying changes invisible to the naked eye, so the algorithm reads it as a unique video, but it's actually different, right? So we started testing out with that. The whole testing period took months, and we created a simple version of the software for ourselves. And with that repurpose bot, that's how we called it, repurpose bot, we famously grew a brand new account from scratch to 250k followers in less than 2 months and gathered over 30 million views. Very good stuff. We started posting those results, and then a bunch of other OFM agencies reached out to us like, hey, how did you do that? We want to do the same thing. So we actually started selling our software to other agencies, and the demand for it was so high because everybody wanted to use it that we actually turned it into an actual software company, right? They would see, hey, these guys reached 250k followers with the same videos, let me do it too. And before it was just called a repurpose bot, but then we decided to turn it into TikFusion to make it more official. And so far we've helped over 1,000 agencies grow with it. So you can see the potential of following this principle, and most importantly, backing that principle up with action. We're also going to cover this in the next 2 principles I'm about to describe. But now the funny thing is, later on, by the way, we actually found out those guys weren't repurposing videos for their accounts. They were actually doing a completely different method that's since been patched. So we actually fully invented repurposing right on our own. I don't want to say invented because somebody else might have been doing it, but in our eyes, for ourselves, we invented it. And we did it by accident, and then we turned it into a software company because, again, all the agencies wanted to do the same. And at this point, we've had so many huge agencies use the software to scale their operation, grow their accounts. To my knowledge, at least, the biggest one to ever use our software is Untouched Agency, right? They're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, OnlyFans agency in the world. They have like so many huge Instagram pages, millions of followers. It's crazy how much money they make. It's more than 7 figures a month. They run such a great and large operation, and they have a very impressive team, right? And in our TikFusion review channel on Telegram, you can find reviews from Derek Brown, which is the CEO of Untouched Agency. You can find Goodnight John, a veteran in the OnlyFans industry. Great guy, by the way, great guy. And we literally have a screenshot, actually, of one of his brand new IG accounts that reached just around 1 million views in the first 5 videos he posted on his Instagram account with TikFusion. And I could just go on, but it's better if you just see the reviews for yourself in the channel, right? Now, you know what? Let's do this. Instead of actually skipping to the 3rd principle, I actually want to talk about this a bit more. It might actually be fun. Let me actually cut the video and show you some of our beta versions of the software when we were building it for ourselves and testing it out, just so you could appreciate the work that went into it and follow our story from the beginning. Let's cut it. All right, we're in the folder that contains the older versions of TikFusion's, aka our repurpose bot, right? You can see, what is this? May 2023. We had so many versions, so many tests. We were testing it for months. I don't know. Let's open one up, right? Yeah, exactly. This shit was terrible. We didn't know what we were doing. We would just upload thousands and thousands of videos of tests to see what would work, right? We were trying out with video bitrate, audio bitrate, frame rate, just some basic stuff. We were trying to get the hang of it. We were trying to see what changes would, make TikTok believe it's a unique video. We were just trying to do a bunch of stuff. We were testing it for months. Then we sold the repurpose bot. As you can see, this is the repurpose bot we were selling in 2023. And right now, of course, professional stuff, big boys, right? We have TikFusion now. Let's actually go into it really quick. By the way, don't try using this. I might blur it just for fun, but don't use this license key. It's only for me. You can't use it, even if you see it. Right, we have TikFusion Pro. Boom, boom, boom. Nice stuff. Look at all this fancy stuff. Wow, right? This is a product that's been getting better and better. Behind this product is like over, almost 2 years of hard work and trial and error. Just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of stuff until we mastered everything. Right now we have the image spoofer. You can also spoof images. We have face swap. We have a detector system that lets you put in two videos and it's going to tell you how similar they are. And just a bunch of very, very useful stuff. So we came a long way from the terrible versions to the TikFusion Pro now. Very cool stuff now. Let's get back into the video. I don't want to make this video too long. Let's get into the third principle. All right, after that TikFusion party, third principle. Nobody, absolutely nobody is coming to save you. What does this mean? You have to do everything yourself. You can't expect someone to do it for you. So many people in this world feel entitled and think help will just come their way. You're gonna hear them say, it's not my time will come. What the fuck does that even mean? Create your time. Your time depends on you, not anyone else. Your future is in your hands, not anyone else's, right? You depend on yourself. You can't wait for stuff to be given to you. You have to create the opportunities, right? Because I always have this joke that I say, the more money I get, the more luckier I become, right? Opportunities are gonna come your way as you create them. You can't wait for anything. You have to create the opportunities yourself. And I truly believe the quicker you accept this, the easier you're gonna win. And the quicker you're gonna win. Because this is a very hard thing to accept. So many of us feel like there's this magical thing that's, I don't know, gonna save us and enable us a better life and allow us to make more money. But the truth is, you depend on yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody cares about you enough to pick you up from the ground and start making money instead of you. Even your own mother, by the way, believe it or not, she loves you with all her heart and she would probably give her life for you. But not even she can pick you up and do the things instead of you. It is up to you to create a future for yourself. You know that term self-made millionaire? I find this very interesting. The funny thing is that we're all self-made, but only the millionaires will admit it. But we are all self-made. We are all the consequences of our actions. So choose your actions wisely or they're gonna choose you. And lastly, very important, this is to round this all up, right? You followed the three principles. This is the last one that's gonna put everything together for you, get it sorted, and start putting it into action. This is gonna get the things done. The last principle is your word has to be iron-willed. Use that for infinite motivation. What does this mean? If you follow the previous three principles, achieving anything becomes so simple when you combine them with this. You literally have to just speak the words into existence and they will fulfill themselves. This is all about becoming a man of your word. So let's say you're not in the mood to work out today. Simply speak the words out loud. That's the most important part, by the way. Speak them into existence. Speak them into the universe. Speak them out loud. Don't say them in your head. Just say, I'm gonna work out today. And now you have to work out. Because if you don't, you're not gonna be a man of your word. That's how you use words for infinite motivation. Words are a very powerful thing. The same way I told myself, I'm gonna figure out how those guys are uploading identical videos to TikTok and not getting flagged. And it took me multiple months to fully master it, but I kept my word and figured out how they did it. And because of that, I solved my issue with getting traffic and turned that information into a very successful software company. So when you follow these three principles, the last one just makes you turn your goals into reality. And achieving anything becomes so simple. The only thing you have to do is speak it into existence. and you're gonna achieve it because you're the man.